This episode is sponsored by Lae Lae Marie, Kissing Pink Strawberry Lemonade, brought to by Gorilla Drinks. Get your bottle now before they all sell out.
When my bitch hit the dance floor, her booty get the flippin'. She shake it so good, all these niggas get the trippin'. Even the broke niggas try to talk about trickin'. But if you gettin' money, niggas spend it on you women.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Put Your Big Girl Draws On with your one and only Lae Lae Marie and my very special guest and one of San Antonio's influence rappers to me, Actor HighStrung in the building. What's up? What's up? How you doing this Wednesday?
What's up, man? I'm chilling.
You
know
doing?
I'm
doing
up
good?
a little early because I had a late night studio session, but I'm good.
Oh, how was that? How was the studio session? What you fixing to come out with?
Man, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the music that I'm making right now is crazy. I mean, our music that I feel like I've been like, consistent.
Right.
Probably one of the most consistent artists in San Antonio.
And that you are very consistent,
yeah.
and that's why I feel like
I only had like one bad project here that I dropped in the city where it was like, I don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, of
But,
course, you know what I mean? You're going to have your goods and your bads. It comes with the process, you know what I mean, of building your empire. So,
for sure.
Of course, not everything is going to, you know what I mean, go your way when it comes to this game.
No, but it's been a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying, to even do music. Like, you know what I'm saying, just hearing the tone, you know what I'm saying, as long as I have, you know what I mean.
And really express
and
your
build the
feelings.
relationships and really put out the projects that I put out. But our studio session went great last night, man. I'm making some really dope records right now.
How many songs you dropped? How many songs you do last night?
So I did 2 last night. I always do 2 every studio session because I always feel like you shouldn't overpower it because you should concentrate on 1 or 2 songs. You know what I'm saying, and really get them mixed down well before you get them out before you. I even have sessions like where I get them mastered later. Right. You know what I'm saying, but I want to get at least a good mix, and I felt like that. You know what I'm saying, like every song that I've been making, I've been taking my time on really. You know what I'm saying, concentrating on what content I want to put out here for the next project. Because my last project went gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your last project was really dope. Like I really loved it. I was like, that's why I was like, it was really like I feel like. You really put your heart into it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you've been through the struggles. Now it's your time to win. Like, that's why I say influence. You know what I mean? And I have some pretty cool topics to talk about that, especially when it comes to this rap industry. You know what I mean? So, one of my main questions would be is what influenced you, what inspired you to want to go to, like, these middle schools and stuff and talk to the younger generation, you know, when it comes to, you know what I mean? Like, be who you are, you know what I mean? If you want to rap, because since you rap, like, do what, you know what I mean, makes you happy at the end of the day.
I mean, like, I'm influenced when I make music through life, through the stuff I go through. And I was talking to the homie one day, and he was telling me, like, you know what I'm saying, I've always had access to schools. I used to work at an after-school program. Right. So, like, just meeting different people I always had. And I just always felt like when I was in middle school and how we was running around, I'm originally from Killeen, Texas, so I went to school in Killeen. I didn't come out to San Antonio until I was already an adult. You know what I'm saying? I was like 19.
Really? So, I actually went to Shoemaker High School out there. My son was born out there in Killeen.
Oh, okay, that's crazy. I went to Shoemaker my first year.
Yeah, I went to Shoemaker myself. Well, that's a small world.
So, yeah.
Small world.
But you know, if you've been there, you know, it's a wild little city. So growing up,
every different part of the country there, like that's the biggest army base we have in the world. Like you see so many different cultures, and it's crazy.
But outside of that base, because it's the biggest base. But outside of the base, it's a city. It's a city, a melting pot of so many people from New York, from Cali, so everybody there want to be the man.
I used to know somebody who was actually from Jamaica.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So it's a melting pot.
Cool.
So it was like, you know, for me, I felt like if we would have had a rapper come to our school and talk to us, you know what I'm saying, then it would have changed the mentality on the way we think about things. You know what I'm saying? We used to have influencers like nurses and doctors, but if you were a kid, especially a young black kid in America, whatever, you're not really trying to
not even that. You know a lot of these younger generations do look up to a lot of these rap artists. Right. And you see what I'm saying? And some of these rap artists are not putting the best, you know what I mean, situation out here for these younger generations. And that's why I said that's pretty cool that a rapper like yourself goes and talks, you know what I mean? Right. Try to, you know what I mean, talk some common sense into these younger generations because some of them are thrown off.
Right. And they try to give us
Some of them
like
are
the schools we into are the urban schools. They the schools in the hood. They the schools on the south side, the west side. So when I go in with the. I don't go in there with the attitude of like
a thug
you
mentality,
can do it.
right?
No, I go in. I go in
Right.
with the stern mentality because
Right.
if you go in there with the you guys can do anything you want to do. These kids gonna you know what I'm saying? We
Right.
laughed at that. You know what I'm saying? So when you go in there with like listen, I'm gonna give y'all
Be
what we call free
realistic.
game.
Yeah,
You can
realistic.
take it or you don't gotta take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, 8th grade turned into a grown person real fast.
Especially when we were in school back in the day,
Exactly.
right?
So I tell them all the
Right.
time, like I'm like, listen, you don't gotta listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you like this: if you don't listen, I'm giving you. This is free.
Right.
This is not what these teachers gonna tell you.
Right.
And then I always tell them, what's the word? I always tell the kids to humor me because I know they know what the word means. So I'm like, what's the word impossible mean? All the kids don't want to raise their hand.
Right. Well, obviously
So-
these principals respect you too, because I didn't see you took
Nah,
a few.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Pictures
Yeah,
with the
yeah, for
principals,
sure.
which is pretty cool because you know what I mean. Hopefully somebody is listening and getting that free game. You know what I mean?
sure,
Like
for sure.
taking it. You know what I mean? And building off of it. Like
Yeah, nah,
we
for
need
sure.
to talk some common sense into the younger generation, and then we just need to put up a good example because there's too
Right.
much going on in the world like right now. Like the PNB Rock situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you feel about that? Like as a rapper, you know what I mean? Like they're saying it's becoming one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Like,
Well, I mean, I can't. I've never been the type to front, so I won't say I was a huge fan. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I definitely liked a lot of songs that he had with a few people, with collabs and stuff.
right,
I'm talking musically. Now, as far as the situation, I feel that I hate that we live in a world right now where it's so numb.
right,
It's like another rapper died and then we gonna go about our day because it's happening so frequently, it's happening so much that it's like people are becoming numb to it. And a lot of people, I've noticed this since I was a young type, a lot of people don't care about situations unless it's happening to them.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for you to resonate when you see stuff on the news and you see something if it never happened to you.
right.
So
And it's
I
just
hate
crazy
that,
because it's
you
the
know what I'm
whole
saying?
and it's just weird how the rap game is going because it seems like the whole empire unit, like you look at it, Nipsey Hussle, Young Dolph, now PNB Rock, like quite a
Right.
few have been getting killed. So I don't know.
But I feel like that's
weird.
where to go back to the schools, I feel like that's where I feel like I'm making a change as far as like, cause I really, if you look at any of the videos that I put out, I really am influencing the kids. I ain't done it to the whole world. I'm doing it just in the city alone.
Right.
But I feel
Because you
like,
gotta help your
I
own
feel like
first,
that's-
right,
Well,
you
I'm just saying
gotta-
you gotta
right.
start somewhere.
Right.
So I feel like I feel like that, like if more of that went on, you know what I'm saying, then it would deplete a lot of the stuff that's happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of these kids are growing up violent. Like love is not even implemented no more. Every R&B song about fucking, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But-
not
but
even
it's-
R&B
but
no
it's-
more though. That's the whole thing. It's not even R&B no more.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's
I'm
not,
saying like
there's no
but
R&B now.
When I was growing up, I had options. I could
Right.
listen to a love song, and I could also listen to a song where we just talking about fucking. I
Right.
could listen to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like now, it's like it's like I put that in a new song that I just wrote. It says if it's talking about like if I'm not talking about murder, killing, or this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
even in my own city, like I hang with all the hustlers. I know a lot of the scene. You know what I'm saying? Even my dog 750. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around. We all kind of grew up in the same, you know, from ER Bar and all these other places.
Right, grew up together,
I'm not the
right.
rapper that they look to for the beef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Man, right, because when that
nobody-
situation went down on Lux, I was like, oh, man, you look like you finna whoop some
Nah,
ass. Like, yeah,
You
he
know what I'm
was
saying?
hurt.
But nobody, but they know me though. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
At the end of the
right.
day, everybody's always respected as a man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I ain't
But
never seen you
I
that mad.
wasn't-
I was like, oh, my God, he finna go off. Everybody.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna give no sucking niggas no light. You know what I'm saying? That was just
Right.
a situation where when you get in position and when you looked at it as in a certain light in your city or whatever, and niggas want to be in that light.
Right.
That was one of those
Then it's
situations
become
where the nigga
envies,
wanted to
right.
he wanted to be me. So it was a situation where it was like he just didn't feel that he didn't believe nothing. He didn't believe nothing I was saying,
Right.
which was cool because I post everything. I post everything, and not to prove to nobody,
Right.
But I post to show that there's no cap in anything I say.
Right.
Every rhyme, everything that I've ever spit, you could run my background. I've had people do that from here. Like, oh, he say from Killeen, let's run his background. And they check in with niggas like C-Stone, and they check in with niggas like all these other people, and they like, dude is from HighStrung is from Killeen. I have
Right.
no reason to fabricate my life.
Yeah, I still got
So,
some family out there,
It
too.
was like, that was a situation where, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but again, I saved that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That could have been a way deeper thing.
Ooh,
You know
we
what
thought it
I'm
was
saying?
gonna
There
get
was so many local
crunk.
artists
I
that
ain't gonna
was
cap.
ready
I
to-
was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
stuff finna get really here. We was
So-
all just chilling. It was 0 to 100 real quick. I was like,
Nah,
oh
yeah.
my god.
and I learned a lesson through every situation. I feel like I should never let anybody take me out of my element.
Yeah, don't let
And-
nobody test your
And
patience.
so like
Yeah.
I was ashamed. I was more ashamed of myself, not of the dude.
Right,
I don't
letting you
care
know that
about
it got you out of
But I was
character.
ashamed that
Right.
because people are
Right.
normally used to seeing me being cool, and
Right, and
I
that's
felt
why I
like
said
they-
it bring you
yeah.
out of character. You didn't
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
yourself. So.
But you live and you learn. You know what I
Right.
mean? Nobody's perfect. We human. You feel me?
Right. Right. But back to that PM Big Rock situation. Do you think his girl set him up? I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think it. I think she was just being a female. I think she was being a, you know what I'm saying, his girl. You know,
Right.
girls get excited when they out with their man or whatever the situation was. I feel like she just posted, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I used to post shit. I did that like last week. I post where I am, you know what I'm saying? But now since it's getting heavier, I
Right.
don't post where I am now till after I leave.
Yeah, and it's crazy
You know
because
what I'm
Sauce
saying?
Walker just caught a body out there too from trying to get, you know what I mean, his
Yeah.
jewelry took too. Like,
I
LA
never-
going hard right now.
I never felt like I
That's
was a
crazy.
nigga that needed to carry a gun. I always had niggas around me that had it, but I never felt like I needed to carry one. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt
Right.
like that, like nobody's looking for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
don't got no.
But you
I
don't
got
know
no- but
anybody's
now,
intentions
yeah. So, like,
nowadays,
now
so it's just crazy.
Now the situation's different. Now I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
hate that it's like that. You know what
Right.
I'm
I
saying?
hate that it's like that too. You know what I mean? Especially me having my own podcast and building, you know what I mean, relationships with these, you know what I mean, artists, interpreters, men, women, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
of all different kind of businesses. And it's just crazy how much hate there is, especially down here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
There is just too much talent down here for us not to be able to grow.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And hate is really stopping the whole process. Like, it seemed like somebody's doing real good and then bam, they get whacked for some, you know what I mean, some nonsense for no
Yeah.
reason. Like,
Well, one thing I can say about the tone, we got the most room to grow because we don't deal with a lot of what the outside world deal with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even when it come to, we talked about it the other day about like, you know, racism and cops and this type of thing. Like that thing, it's probably alive here, but it's not as much as it would be like in a Mississippi or Alabama.
Or
You
Los
feel me?
Angeles-
Like,
Los
yeah, if a
Angeles
cop
situation,
is
right.
an asshole to you 9 times out of 10, he a minority too, so he just an asshole because he an asshole.
right, just
You know what I'm
because you
saying?
could be
Like,
an asshole, right?
But I'm not saying racism don't live here. I'm just saying we not
Right.
gonna feel
We
it.
don't deal with it heavy
yeah.
like other
Any
certain
cop
states
I ever
do.
got
Right.
into it with, he wasn't racist against me. He just was an asshole. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? Like,
right. And I'm pretty sure you would be an asshole right back because you like,
Yeah, like,
damn,
but,
I
like-
ain't trying to go to jail.
so it's like, but you know what I'm saying? But like, even with the music scene, like, it's like a lot of niggas hate here, but they don't really mean to hate. Is what I noticed. Like, they're misinformed.
Right.
So they feel like, and then you got the niggas that hate only because they see how much work. See, people act like they don't know what you have to do to make it.
Right.
They say, well, I don't know, I be grinding, but you know what to do. It's just when you find out what you have to do and the amount of
That's
work
when
have
you don't
want
wanna put the work in, right.
It's easier to hate.
Right.
It's easier to say,
Right.
oh, this nigga, he ain't doing this, he ain't.
Right.
But it's like you could be
He
working.
capping and everything. He rapping
Right.
about. He ain't
But
living
you-
the life right.
It's easier to say that, and then what a hater does is like most of them are alone when they start hating. So
Right.
then they try to get the recruits.
Right.
Oh, what you think about this nigga, fool?
But
I
see,
don't
they
like
the
this.
ones that
So
really
it's
run the
like-
numbers up too. If you think about it, the music industry, they're the ones that really run your numbers up. They're really the ones that, you know what I mean, they promote you more than, you know what I mean, you probably
Yeah.
promote yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
just
for
saying,
real.
you know what I mean?
I mean, all promotion is good promotion. I feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter how somebody talking about you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
Right.
have thick skin in this industry if you really want to be. You can't come in here thinking that everybody gonna like you.
Right,
You
because
know what I'm saying? Like,
not
I done
everybody
had
gonna
niggas
like
that
you.
come up to me straight to my face and be like, I don't rock with your shit.
Right.
For
And you
sure.
can respect that, you know what I mean?
like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it
respect
don't
that.
bother me because,
Right.
like, nigga, it's some.
At the end of the day, you
there's
know
some people that do
yourself,
rock
you
with
still
it, yeah.
winning, right.
So it's
Basically,
like,
right.
my shit ain't for everybody though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Because
like,
it's your shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only you can really understand
and
what
I
you build.
never wrote music for other people. I write
Right.
from my own experience and niggas that's gonna feel me and that's been through what I've been through.
Right.
And that's gonna fuck with what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hang with a bunch of rappers. You might fuck with the nigga next to me more than you fuck with me.
Right.
I don't feel offended by that. I like
Right.
that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with that
Right.
energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that, you know what I'm saying, with San Antonio, man, we got the most room to grow as far as because we got so much talent here. You know what I'm saying? Like
we have a lot of
and
talent.
this is probably the best time that I've seen it since being here in 2007. This is the best time I've seen so many artists come out with so much dope shit. Right. Everybody got hits.
Right.
Everybody got hits.
Right.
So if you're not making hits, you literally sit in the bench right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because every artist is in the elite form right now. You know what I'm saying? And everybody. So it's like if you're not more motivated right now to make me. Like,
right. They make it San Antonio hot in their own little way.
Right.
You know what I mean? They make it a city jump.
That I made Life.
Right.
Life. That did numbers that I should just be sitting on.
Right.
But when I get to the clubs and I'm on these shows and I hear this nigga shout out to KG or shout out to Avar and I'm hearing or Yoda or whoever making bangers.
They got the whole crowd jumping.
Yeah,
they got
I'm
the
back
whole
in the
crowd
studio
jumping.
like no. This ain't how HighStrung it finished.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and it's all love and it's competition. I love hearing it. You know what I'm saying? I got favorite records from all these gentlemen that I all these individuals that I mentioned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got favorite records. I bump their music. I don't say it on a what they call it, the platforms, the
platforms.
streams.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones streaming. You know what I'm saying? So I use Apple Music like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? My Apple Music ain't paid. I start tripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like fuck. I can't do YouTube in the car.
Right. You can't pick a favorite song you want to listen to. You just gotta let it play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I can't do that shit.
You gotta let it play. Yeah.
So for sure, man. I think the tone is we on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of great things happening right now. You know what I'm saying? I think we coming out with
and
the
when
best
we blow up, it's
music
gonna be lit though.
Oh yeah. We already there, man. We at the front door. You know what I'm saying?
Man, did you see how much Bad Bunny made just coming down to San Antonio? What?
I didn't. I seen he made a lot of money.
Man, he made, I believe, what was it, like 8.6 billion, I think? Or he made, it was something close like that.
You said billion, like B? Or million?
Billion. No, billion. He down here in San Antonio. And coming off of his tour, yes, like he's making a lot of money.
like that.
He made a lot of money coming down here, and I don't fuck with
crazy.
Bad Bunny. Like I didn't even know who he was until like, and all the memes people started posting. It just had me cracked up.
I just seen all the memes of him walking around. I guess San Antonio, like he went to Fourth Quarter Bar and all these other different places.
Some of them I couldn't tell if they was photoshopped or they was for real. You know what I mean? I was like.
It's crazy because I'm not like I would love to do like I done like different records.
Right. Well, you've been out of country. That's the cool part. Like what country? I know you've been out of country, but like what countries have you like officially been to, and what countries would you want to visit? You know what I mean? Going more into your
So growing up, I've
music.
been out of the country just off of my pops being military.
Right.
You know
And I understand that because my pops is military too. That's
right.
how we landed that.
But musically, where music took me, I went to Korea. I went to South Africa, and I went to Mexico, Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying? Like Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where that's where I got booked.
Right.
Now, like the trip, like as far as feeling like a superstar,
right,
for me was most definitely Korea. You know what I'm saying?
Korea looks
from
lit.
The moment I love how they do business. From the moment I hopped off the plane, they had my money saran wrapped, which was like it wasn't like $1 million, but they had like 2,500 saran wrapped when I got off the plane, like, and gave it to me like that. So I felt like,
made you feel respected.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
You
and it
really
came with 2 things, so I'm clapping that hoe in front of the camera, like, I'm talking about I just got paid, but it was probably like $1,000 each.
Right. It don't matter. Money is money, especially when it's bundles. You
but
see
that
what
was
I'm
the
saying?
thing. I got paid like they paid for my trip and my board, and then I got paid. And then so when I got off the plane, they took me straight to the hotel. And there was all they knew that there was a American rapper. Shout out to my dude Robert Height too. He was the one he was a promoter over there. He was the one that brought me over there. And when I got over there, we had to perform in a club at Juilliard. It was a spot called Juilliard. I performed 2 places. I performed for the Army base that's over there,
right,
and I performed for this club called Juilliard, which is in Korea on the Strip.
And see, that's gonna be my next question. Where did you get your first show coming from clean? Like where did you do your first show?
What you mean, like overseas, or are you talking about just in general?
Like in general, where did you do your first show?
Okay, hold on. Let me finish the Korea story though before I can move on. So, because I gotta tell you this shit is crazy. So I go to Juilliard, I perform. it's so many people in the club because all they know is American rapper. Half these people don't know me, but Koreans love hip hop so much they learned my EP in one weekend.
Right.
So these people are rapping my lyrics in English but don't know what they're saying. They're just able to mimic words. So I'm thinking everybody in the building speak English. I'm like, oh, everybody speak English because they rapping in English.
Right.
So I'm rapping, and it was no stage. I had to stand on a chair, but it was like a bunch of people around me. So then I ended up having to rap outside in front of the whole strip, and like it was like it looked like thousands of people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was a crazy energy.
Right.
And then so after I finished, I'm trying to talk to the people like, hey man, I see you knew all the words. That's what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, how? I'm like, and then my homeboy that can speak Korean or that's been over there for a while, he was like, hey, they don't know English, bro. They just know how to rap English. Like they could rap a whole Tupac song in English, but they don't know English.
How is that? How is that?
It's like hearing it, just hearing it. That for them, they could just listen, and then like they could hear you say a bunch of times like, "What's good? What's good?"
And then they can repeat, "What's good?"
Like, what good? What good?
Wow.
That's how they know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that it was just a crazy feeling. Then of course South Africa, man, being in Africa, that shit was crazy. Like it definitely looked like some Wakanda shit. I'm not gonna lie. South Africa, Johannesburg, they technology is so advanced, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But
I believe it.
But that was cool.
That's probably a beautiful place. I wouldn't mind going to South Africa.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I know you got. Did you get to see all the wildlife, like the elephants and stuff, and the giraffes that they be showing on Animal Planet?
That's more East Africa.
Oh, that's
like
more
East
Africa.
A lot of people think when you first go to Africa, but that's more East Africa.
Well, see, I find that stuff beautiful. You know what I mean? That's beautiful animals as wildlife. Like,
I wanted to see that shit, but like where we was, it was more of like the city type. I did see this lady walking a cheetah though with a like diamond thing around the cheetah's neck. I thought that's like a leash actually walking.
Did you get a picture of it?
I was like, she was too close to me, so I was like nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of nervous because like
scared that chick go bite your ass.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like a dog or some shit, you'd be like, all right, it's a dog, I can get the. But like I don't know what the fuck to do with a cheetah. You can't run from a cheetah.
Hell no, they got like, the claws, the teeth, everything.
You can't climb on top of a car and get away from a cheetah. Like so, I was more nervous. Like, hey man, I hope you got this leash like tight as a motherfucker. Right. Like she walking around with this bitch like it's all.
Or one of them shot collars, you better sit.
Yeah,
sit.
That shit was crazy.
Heal. That shit was crazy.
But my first show after Colleen, man, you taking me back. My first show after Colleen.
Like your very, very, very first show. Like your ever.
Man. It's between Austin, a show that I did in Austin, or it's going to be San Antonio. Because I did a lot. I didn't really step outside my city when I was in Colleen. As a kid, I was rapping. But I wasn't like, I didn't really start heavy rapping to probably like my senior year. You know what I'm saying? Of high school. Like I was rapping. They was coming out. I'm from, it's 4 hoods in Colleen. Well, it's like 5. It's like 4-1. Heather Glen, LB, and then it's the Dub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I've actually heard of the Dub and LB. Yeah.
If you went to Shoemaker, you would probably live in the Dub.
Yep.
So like the LB, I'm from Heather Glen, but I lived in the Dub my first year, so I get a lot of respect from the Dub. But I grew up in Heather Glen. You know what I'm saying? Now the L hate Heather Glen because you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. I don't know. It started way before I would have even know. You know what I'm saying? But it was just I rapped with a group of guys in my school, but they was like already rapping. Right. So I would just rap with them at the school. They was actually recording and shit like that. I really wasn't, but I always had a love for that shit. Right. But I was kind of letting them do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then so it was just, and then one day I like rapped with a group of friends that like I was like, man, I'm gonna freestyle about us being at ISS this week, everything that happened this week, the fights we got into at the teen club. I'm gonna rap about all this shit, and I wrote it and I remembered it. And I rehearsed it. And I think that Friday when we was getting ready to leave from the buses, I was like, hey, y'all, listen to this. And I just started spitting. And then, like, as I was spitting, the homies was like, oh, my God, like, this nigga's killing this shit. Like, the reaction that I got from him
was not what you expected.
Yeah, and I was like, I never want this feeling again.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never, like, this got to be my life. Like, because they just went crazy off the strength of, like, he rapped about us being in ISS. He rapped about Trayvon fighting who, you know what I'm saying? It was like they went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't fathom that I talked about these things in a rhyme. You know what I mean? So, like, and we heard it before. We seen it before.
Right.
But for it to be a freestyle like that, like, I felt like they was like, It was crazy.
They're probably like, we need to get him in the studio now.
I couldn't even sleep that night because it was like I know I killed it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, like I went back to school like Monday, and them niggas weren't even talking about the shit no more. But I felt like everybody was talking about it. In my head, the whole school was talking about it.
Nobody could tell you nothing. Yeah, nobody could tell you nothing.
But in my head, everybody knew I killed it. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, you can't tell me shit about my own, right?
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? So, and when I got to the tone, I was like, you know what? I don't know nobody here. I came with my brother CJ. And shortly after he went to Dallas, but he stayed here for like the first 2 years with me here. And I told CJ, I said, I'm finna just go all over town and I'm finna just start making a name for myself. Right. Because I don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? So we met females, and then females would tell us what the sides was. And then I was actually riding on the south side one day, and I ran into a dead end, and I was trying to turn my car around. And this Hispanic dude with all tats on his body and neck and face, he was sitting on his porch, and I guess he had seen me go down that street too many times.
Right, so he was trying to figure out who he was,
so him and like 4 of the dudes walked to the middle of the street, and they stopped my car. And I'm not in a position where I couldn't stop the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could like run through these niggas, but I'm like, it would just be crazy. So
right.
Like,
you ain't trying to go to jail,
yeah,
right?
You know what I mean? So he knocked on my window and was like, roll down your window, bro. And I was like, so I cracked that hoe like and I was like, what's good? And he was like, hey man, I seen you go up and down the street. Are you good? Are you lost?
Right.
And I was like, hey man, I'm actually not from San Antonio. I'm new. Like, you know what I'm saying? So long story short, he was like, get out of the car. I want to tell you something. And I'm nervous as shit, but again, I'm not in a position to tell this man no.
No, right.
You feel me? So I get out the car. I go sit on this porch. He goes in there. I never forget the girl's name. He said, Maria, go fix my man a plate. She was like, what the fuck? He was like, go do it. And so she fixed me a plate. And he told me, he said, listen, I'm going to tell you something about San Antonio. So this is the south side. Zamora, he was just explaining. He said, this is the south side. So everybody in San Antonio, the demographic is predominantly Hispanic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mexicans. Yep. He said, this south side, we're a certain type of Mexicans. Then the west side, and he's like, there are a certain type of Mexicans. And then he was like, people that look like you, no offense, people that look like you, black people, they live on the east side. And then you got a mixture of the north, which is like people that have money. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he explained all this to me. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And then he kind of explained like certain streets, which so I know which side I'm on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like New Braunfels and Martin Luther King. Like he was explaining these places to me. And I just soaked up game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just telling me all this shit. And from there, I started picking spots. I started performing at places where I knew, like, at Reptiles. And you know what I'm saying? And, like, I think Core Game Face at the time was putting me on all these shows. Core seen me perform one time, and Core used to battle. Right. And Core was like, man, you dope. Like, he was like, you got a lot of swag. Like, I like your music. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, he was like, I'm going to start putting you on some shows at Reptiles. And so from there, I started being on shows. And the first show, I was actually offended because they never put my name or my picture on the flyer. Right. They just told me I could perform.
You better me because I ain't.
So I was like,
nope, I ain't doing it.
So I made it a point. I treated that show like it was an award show. Right. So I was like, I'm going to get on this stage and make sure that everybody
be the undergrounder coming on
is.
Top, basically.
And from there, I made homies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I met dudes from New Orleans.
You got your respect that night.
Fuck with you, nigga. What's up? Tap in with me. And I started going to different nigga studios. I met DJ Chop. I met, that's when I, like, and then I remember my roommate, he was a big fan of Sosa and damn, I'm gonna forget. But I know Sosa was like one of the main artists, and he always had his mixtapes. Right. And I'm like, nigga, who is this nigga? Like, every Saturday morning, he'll vacuum listen to country and Sosa. Every Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? So I started to like Sosa. Like, he became like the nigga that I was fucking with. Right. Like, as far as, never met him though. You know what I'm saying? Never had met him, just fucked with his music stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember having my Time Now shoot. I finally felt like I had built up enough buzz to where people was fucking. I was coming out with a mixtape at the time called The Exam. The Exam was the first one that flooded the streets. If you go to Dice's crib right now and look on his wall, The Exam is on there. The Exam is on there. Like niggas fuck with The Exam. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I had Avar. Right. That's why I call him Big Bro. Like, I always tell people all the time, no matter who got a problem with Avar, no matter what it is, the things he have done for me.
He is right. You can't tell me that.
I can never, ever turn my back. And if I'm cool with you and you don't agree, I can't be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because that's between you and him.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he came to my shoot. It's two reasons why I'm gonna tell you that. Like why VAR, I gotta give him a shout out. So the first one was like he came to my video shoot and he was having the Martin Luther King Day thing the next day. You know what I'm saying? He came to my video shoot and he brought and I had a bunch of people out there already and he showed love. He was in the video, he was active.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then like there was another time too where that Rick Ross concert came out here at Cowboys.
Man, I heard that
and
was live.
It was live, but it almost turned into like some shit because Rick Ross didn't get paid in time. So
I'm making some shit too. Like, dog, give me my buddy on time.
He wasn't gonna come out and people was about to get rowdy. But that night though, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to, you know, my dog Kylie, man. I fuck with Kylie tough, you know what I'm saying? Right. But at this time, I was still new. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to get backstage. And Kylie, at the time, I think Avar was with Polar Pimp. And and they was letting Polar Pimp back there. But when it got to me, Kyle was kind of like, I don't know him.
Right.
And so VAR was like, that's strong, bro. I used to wear this big-ass chain, too, say HighStrung. And then he was like, that's strong, nigga. You know what I'm saying? With you. And you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Khalid's always been protective of who he has around him.
Right. So, well, of course, nowadays you got to watch who around you.
You know what I'm saying? Now I see him as
always
love. He like big bro.
Right.
So this is like 10 years ago. And then then like VAR went in, and I was like, damn, I'm kind of out here by myself. But I was invited, you know, through VAR. Bro, this will always be a moment for me. This nigga came back outside with everybody, bought a section up top for me to be able to see the concert in the best way, bought That's 2 dope. Bottles, and was like, if you can't go in, I can't go in, nigga. That ain't how we rock.
Right.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? These are the type of friends and the friendships and the relationships that I built
flowers.
in the tone.
Right.
And I say that, I like, again, I wasn't trying to make it all about VAR, but I was trying to say that, like, this is the type of solid relationships that I built in the tone. And this is why the tone means so much to me, and why I do music here, and why because
that's a solid kind of relationship that you would want in general, right? As a real genuine friend. You
and
know
it go back to what you said about like hating, like and shit like that, where it's like people say that all the time. This city hate. Every city you from gonna hate,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Every nigga that's from that city says that they got hate, that the city hating.
Right.
But the thing is though, you got to look at yourself as an individual. Right. You know what I'm saying? When HighStrung walks into a building and when Fly Zone is there, you could feel that presence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When VAR, when 750, when certain niggas walk in, you already know who they are based on their credentials.
Right.
You're always gonna get that hate, but build yourself to that.
Right.
And then don't settle with that. Niggas build
and
that.
And then be around people.
And then they
who
like,
don't
well,
hate.
I'm known in the tone. Nigga, that ain't enough though.
Right. And also
you know
build yourself around people who don't hate either, because you know what I mean, you also feed off of energy.
Right.
Like you can't have a relationships like
especially when you in position, you gotta make sure that you know what I'm saying, you don't keep those, because then it reflects on you.
You right. It makes
if the people is hating around you, it make it look like you hating too.
Right.
So you gotta be cognizant and smart about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right. That's why you gotta be aware of who you got around you and your surroundings and who you know what I mean. Definitely let in your life, because you don't know nobody's intentions. You know what I mean? You can still have somebody good nowadays, and they'll still bite the hand that feed them. Yeah,
for sure.
So
for sure.
That's definitely
it matters.
Right,
matters,
right. So I do have another question. How did you get your name HighStrung?
So you know what I'm saying, HighStrung came from like a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, I really don't know when was the first time.
So you don't have an actual.
No, I'm saying, like, I really don't know. I really don't know when the first time I was called HighStrung. Right. I know it came from 2 places. One, so this is crazy. I can't even believe I'm about to tell y'all this shit.
Oh, and shout out to the merchandise. Fly Zone in the building.
Oh yeah, for sure. Make sure you get your Fly Zone shirts, man. They running low.
And this podcast is Gorilla Drink is also a sponsor of this podcast, Kiss and Pink. Make sure you grab you some of that nice cold juice. That juice is really good. I gotta go get my new batch later on today. I can't wait.
Oh yeah. Let me know, because that was good. I mixed it with my drink. But
well, you know I keep them in the freezer, so you know they always cold.
Okay, that's what I like.
Cold.
But no, HighStrung, like you know what I'm saying, my pops actually was playing around one day and said that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of, my first rap name, Lord, was Paul Weezy.
Okay, we got.
Cause
we
like
got Paul Wall.
I never told nobody that, but I was influenced, of course, by Paul Wall. My name is Paul.
Right,
and
right.
Then,
of course.
And then like I also like listened to a lot of Wayne at the time.
You know what?
So it was Paul. So Paul Weezy just made, and then like my niggas used to say that.
From this day on, you will be called
No,
Paul.
hell no,
Yep,
hell
I'm
no,
calling
hell no,
you
hell no.
Paul Weezy.
So-
That's dope. That is sticking. I'm sticking to it.
My homie T Crack used to say in school he used to be like Paul Wellican, fly like a pelican every time I walk through the halls, and then like
Bars.
the homies would call me Paul Weezy too. They'd be like Weezy, Paul Weezy. So I just kind of like felt like it was cool. But then like as I went later on, like, you know what I'm saying, like that shit sound kind of corny.
They put
you know
they put Paul Wall and Lil Wayne together to go Paul Weezy.
And then I had friends too, like that was I had a couple friends, you know what I'm saying, from the Glen that was like Bloods or whatever, and they would get into like situations, and I would be there, and I like, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't never fighting for the gang, but I was fighting because we was young, and it was like you always fight for the nigga next to you,
right?
For the person that you rocking with. So I would get into these scuffles and get into these situations, and one day my homie was like, "Damn dog, you're not even a part of the game." I'm like, I know, but that ain't why I'm fighting. And then like whenever we have situations like we would talk about certain subjects, he'd be like, all right, bro.
Like,
Chill,
why you so
like,
serious?
You a bit high strong, nigga.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
strong just kind of stuck with me, because like when you talk about hip hop or you talk about something that I don't agree with, I will argue, but I promise you it's coming from a place of passion. So when you arguing with me, you might see me go, hell no, fuck all that, no, fuck all that. Like I get, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
real
but
quick.
a nigga might not be arguing with me like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Some niggas be like, nigga,
But I ain't
just
trying to hear a
saying.
motherfucker what you trying to say. Nah, fuck all
Yeah.
that.
So like that's how I get. So
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how to like argue normally. Like when
Right.
you say something that I'm not agreeing with, I'm trying to get above you,
Right.
and you trying to tell me. So, but you run into a lot of laid back niggas who be like, nigga, I'm just saying, you doing a lot, my nigga.
Right.
And then sometimes when I see niggas do that to me, like, you doing a lot. I'll be like, all right, maybe I'm
Take
tripping.
step
You know what
back
I'm
and
saying?
right,
Like,
take
yeah. I'm like, maybe I'm
Right,
tripping a little
hold on.
bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll be like, all right. So that's where I get High Strong from, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a name that stuck. And I was
Right.
like, High Strong a good rap name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I feel like it's something that when you hear it, it automatically say like, okay, High Strong. What this nigga gonna say?
Right.
What he got to say? Because that
Always
name
saying that
already,
fly zone shit, right?
You know what I'm saying?
that fly,
Yeah. So,
yo.
you know.
Stick with it.
And everything I do, it represents me. So High Strong is a part of me. Even Fly Zone, like, it means being fly in your own zone. I don't care how I look.
Right.
If I get fat tomorrow, I don't care.
Right.
I'm gonna be a fat boy, but I'm gonna be swagged up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter what it is, I feel like Fly Zone is about. I always say it's the movement. I mean, it's not just the movement; it's the movement.
Right?
You know
and
what I'm saying?
I actually
Because-
had seen you post that earlier too.
yeah, because it's about that. Like, I feel like that everything. Like, a lot of people wear a lot of shit every day, and you don't even know what that means.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
don't even know why you.
But
wearing
it does catch their attention, and they're like, okay, well, who is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, what do they do? And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that it also does help fill up your fan base. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
there is a lot of dope T-shirts out here. You know what
No,
I mean?
yeah, for
I've got
sure.
multiple T-shirts of like different artists and everything else,
For
and I
sure.
even have like my own T-shirts, and I go based off of what you said because I'm my own brand too. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna sell me, I'm gonna represent me. Like, I'm gonna work hard for me,
Right.
and what I want. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you on that and respect that too, because.
You got to make a statement. I feel like everything you do, if you really
And I
want to
don't
last,
like working for nobody funky ass. I can't do it. I
Nah,
got
yeah.
to work for myself on my own time. I can't work for nobody. I hate it.
In this world right now, you should be wanting to be an entrepreneur anyway. I
Right.
mean, it's
There's
not
too much
a better
money out
time.
here. There's
It's
too
not
much
a better
money out
time
here.
to work for yourself. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I feel like that. If you working for somebody else right now, you just need your life constructed.
Right, right.
You need something to tell you how to get promoted and what
Right.
to do.
Find
Like,
what you love to do and just do it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
be
for sure.
build off of it. You know what I mean?
but get your
Like-
money though. Like, don't go out here and
Right.
quit your job because I said that shit. You know?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't, you know what I'm
do
saying?
that.
Get your
Yeah,
money.
nah,
Like,
nah.
don't do that.
Don't do that. That's gonna make it even harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
For sure, man. Fuck that. You need to get that money.
always get that money. That's why I'm saying there's just too much money out here, and especially that's why I'm saying in San Antonio, like if everybody could just come together and chill and do something cool, there's just so much money out here. There really is. Like if you go at all the right places, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of money out here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, too, having a strong team, it really helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, my manager, Lisa, sitting right over there. Y'all can't see her though, but
Shout out
She,
to Lisa. She in the building too.
but well, a lot of people know her as Secret too, because she used to be part of a hip hop. She started a hip.
Oh,
along
snap,
with,
we got-
three other people. She started a hip hop dance group called Unified Soul.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, they was like the only dance group really crushing like that, killing at that time. They used to do all the events that we would do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I learned like that's why you see a lot of performances I do. I implement dancers because I learned so much about the dance
Right.
world. Like,
You be teaching them how to dance?
You know what I'm saying? Nah, I can't dance worth shit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, they
That's pretty cool. My 5-year-old, she absolutely loves to dance. Like I'll turn on some music and she just running around the house dancing, cartwheeling. I'm like, girl, sit down somewhere.
Yeah. Nah, but it's dope though. Like just learning just the different, the elements of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And
and not even hip hop. Like I feel like even as just being an artist in general, like you have to study and listen to different kinds of music. Like a lot of people wouldn't think about it, but I listen to country. You probably look at me and wouldn't think I listen to country, but I love country
so
too.
You gotta you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. But also rock and roll because you know what I mean. I grew up on that, but you know what I mean. Because my mom was a '80s fan. You know what I mean, an '80s rock and roll fan. So I do know a lot of '80s rock and roll songs. Like I feel like you do have to study. You know what I mean? Different, you know what I mean? Cultures and stuff when it comes to the music. Like, it's important.
Right.
Like, because you could learn so much. Like, you got to step outside your box a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I agree 100%.
So, I feel like, yeah, pretty much.
For sure. You definitely got to do that, man. You definitely, I make a lot of different music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tap into a lot of different genres, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to just making music. Like people ask me right now, like, what's the direction of my album? I don't know until I start seeing it turn a direction. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what I'm feeling in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I haven't been able to master, I've tried it multiple times, is trying to do a hip hop and what is it? Hip hop and what's the track? Merengue?
Renegade?
No,
reggae?
No. It's Tejano.
Oh, Tejano.
I don't know why I couldn't think of the shit. I was trying to make a hip hop and Tejano record, and I've attempted a few times, but my thing is if it don't sound right coming out the studio, especially if I'm tapping into a whole different genre, I want them to know that I respect that, and I'm not just trying to do it to do it. So if it don't come out sounding right to me, I just scratch it.
I can see
so
you
I
in there some rapping
times.
some Hey Macarena. I can see you in the studio rapping some rapping some Hey Macarena. Yeah, have you ever done a Skrillex? You like Skrillex? I like Skrillex.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I like
I never
Skrillex
done nothing
too.
like that though, but them beats be hard.
Man, they do.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I know somebody who blew out their car speakers, turning all the way up, just blasting that Skrillex, and people be screaming.
Yeah, my sis Eliza 1K, you know what I'm saying, who's also a representative of Fly Zone. I like to see her work. That's probably like a big inspiration for me too. You know what I'm saying? Her work
and to me,
ethic.
she's a big inspiration too because she's a woman. You know what I mean? And she does. You know, she go hard. You know what I mean? Like,
we talked about that on the podcast, but like even as a woman, like just in general, like she's killing.
Right? No, that's
bar
what I'm
for
saying.
bar,
She is killing.
It's a plus that she's a female, but.
Right.
She's eating.
And not even
you know
that,
what I'm saying?
Being a female entrepreneur out here, it is harder for us. You know what I mean? Because and we're women. Like, we have to hustle harder sometimes more than the men out here just to get to the same level as the men. Like, and she's putting in work. Like,
I'm excited to see her just being an artist. Like
Kim Kardashian shouted her out. Like, man, she's putting in work.
I'm excited to see her do records like with like a Mariah Carey on the hook.
Or Sierra. I can see her with
Sierra. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But like, again, I love her process, and I let her. I feel like she just, you know what I mean? She doing her thing. That stuff like that inspires me.
I can see her doing one with Rihanna too. That'd be dope.
Yeah, like I see her doing a lot of things, man. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I see a lot of stuff from, I like to look at people and that's doing their thing. Right. Even when I look at other artists here and I want to see them on stage, I look at them and be like, I can't wait to see him maybe tap into this type of record. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the crazy thing is they just haven't been introduced to it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like certain artists from here, if they was to tap into they can spit, we know that. Right. But like to do a record like a love song from this dude. That you like, this nigga where you would never see this nigga do that, but to see him do it might be an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I look at shit like that. Yeah, like I already know what you could do.
And that's why I do go to a lot of like these music events. You know what I mean? Because I be watching, you know what I mean, the performances, and I be peeping out like, oh, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
listen to the new music. You know what I mean? Of course, shout it out on the Facebook. I do that for a reason. You know what I mean? It's part of my job as a podcaster. Like, I have to be out there, and of course, wanting to support the city.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go out there and show some love.
Absolutely.
Put Your Big Girl Draws On is in the building.
Y'all already know.
In the building. So, but yeah, I hope everybody's having a dope Wednesday. We just chilling. What's your plans for today after this?
I'm gonna go by and see my daughters later. You know what I'm saying? Cause they still got school, but they got early out today. So I'll probably go by and see them and I'm fresh out of the studio, man. So I'm, you know what I mean? So I'm still kind of like tired. I
can't wait to hear the dope few projects that are coming out. You know what I mean? I'm always here to support.
Yeah. So the new album is gonna be called Rose from the Concrete. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I've reached that status to where like I feel like I'm becoming into the rose of that concrete. When I think of roses from the concrete, I think of Tupac, I think of Nipsey Hussle, I think of people like Jay-Z, Big, whoever. Like I feel like people that stand out, that want to be, that wasn't afraid to take that chance of being
different.
Great. You know, you walk around saying you great and people don't like that shit.
Right.
People want you to be great, but they want you to shut up about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want you to be great, but they don't want you to talk about it.
They don't want you to be too great.
Like they say Kanye crazy, this nigga, but he's
worth a lot of money.
He's confident in himself.
Yep.
He's walking around saying I'm the greatest. I'm a genius.
Right. And can't nobody tell him that man different. Right. It don't matter who you are. You can't tell that man different.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that people like they don't like that. I've gotten that. Like some people have told me like I don't like the way you be talking on the internet. I don't care though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't. When I say things about what I'm doing, it's not to make you feel less than. It's to inspire you to do more if you're not.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? I never asked you what you're doing. Like I play.
And your intentions is not to put anybody down.
Yeah.
Right. Your intentions is people to grow.
But I like being the guy where they feel like they got to come up and say too. Like I get rappers that come like, "What's good with you, Strong? What's up?" My first initial reaction is, "What's up with you?" And immediately they start telling me, "Yeah, nigga, you know, last week I toured this, I did that." I ain't even asked. But okay, but I play with their ego. I be like, "Oh, word, that's crazy. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit, Rock Nation on my phone right now, nigga. Oh, that's what's up." Like, you know what I'm saying? like you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna deny your shit. Right. I'm not gonna tell you that it ain't happening. Right. And it's not who am I to tell you that Rock Nation ain't on your phone? But my thing is like, you felt that you needed to come tell me. Right. So obviously I'm somebody of status where you feel like I would like to tell him this. So I feel like, to me, it inspires me.
Right.
So what you telling me, you may not, even if it's flawed, you may not even understand it. You might have inspired me to do that.
Right.
Now they really on my phone because you told me they was on your phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now look what you did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you made this happen. Like you know what I'm saying? So I be telling niggas all the time, like I look at shit as inspiration. I see a nigga doing better than me. I look at that shit like, damn, that's what's up.
Right.
Like what that nigga, who he talking to?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who he know?
Right.
I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And when I see niggas that may not be even where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? I don't ever be like, oh, you not where I'm at.
Right.
I'm like, hey, nigga, if you ask me for some shit, I'm going to tell you.
What free
you know
game,
what I'm saying?
right.
I'm going to give you that advice. I'm going to give you what I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, but you also got to be strategic about your moves because niggas will copy it, try to come out with it before you, and it won't pan out how they think it will, and it won't turn out. But if they do it bad, if you try to do it, it just don't come out as authentic as it would have if you just had done it first.
And that's where I feel like some of the hate comes from too, you know what I mean? Because say if they did try to copy you and it didn't go the way they thought it would, then they will start to hate you because like they'll be like, oh well, how they get to, you know what I mean? Like how they do that, like how they, you know what I mean, were able to do it and I can't, you know what I mean? That kind of thing too. Like I have seen some of that a little bit too.
But you can't be concerned about the hate though, man. I know a lot of people talk about that shit and
you just gotta be yourself,
like,
you know what I mean?
You gotta embrace the love. You gotta fuck the hate. You gotta embrace the love. Pay attention to the people that's paying attention to you.
Like what's that saying on Facebook? Don't mix with dirt. Like bad energy. Like if somebody has bad energy, don't come at them with bad energy. Come at them with positive energy because that's not your attitude. You know what I mean? You say you understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think of it and I really can't get it down. I can't remember what it said, but like I felt that to a T. Like it don't matter if somebody has a bad attitude towards you. Always come at them with love. You know what I mean? Come at them with, you know, because that's gonna hurt them more than it hurt you.
And I mean, it's just you. It take more muscles in your face to frown.
Right, and then that's not who you are generally as a person, right? And you don't want to stoop down to that level. You know what I mean? That's not who you are.
Positive energy, man. It works.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That shit works. And just believing in yourself and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you going, where you headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be solid. You know what I'm saying? Be solid, nigga. Like whoever you are, I heard
stand behind it.
Jay-Z say one time, And I follow any nigga that know me know I follow 3 niggas. I follow Jay-Z, I follow Diddy, and I follow it's a mixture right now. But Jay probably the biggest influence. I'm gonna just say that. And one of the things that he said is people think because you get money, it makes you more solid or more real, right? So it's like but he said a saying one time, and it makes so much sense if you just hear it. He said, where you are, there you are. Just think about that. Where you are, there you are. It don't matter if you have, basically where you are in life, if you got money, if you was a lame nigga before you got that money.
Right. Then you still,
you was there, right?
Yeah.
Now you got money, so there you are with money. But there you are.
There you are,
Where
right.
you are is there. You still a lame nigga.
Right.
You just got money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but niggas is not gonna treat you no differently.
Right.
You not automatically gonna get
respect
in your
you
hood.
have money, right.
Niggas that didn't fuck with you before not gonna start fucking with you.
Right.
You just got money now.
Right.
So the thing that I love is like I'm not a millionaire.
Right.
I do music full time. You know what I'm saying? Through my manager, thank God she came around. I do music full time. She showed me how to make this shit happen for me and be able to provide for my daughters and shit like that. And I got a great support system. But again, I'm already solid.
Right.
So it don't matter how much money I make right now.
Right. You know who you are as a person.
Even if I went broke and I didn't rap no more.
Right.
And
you
niggas
still
like
gonna be solid.
Yeah, you gonna have them
Still
niggas that talk
solid,
about me
right.
and be like, oh, that nigga, I thought he was gonna make it. I thought he was the gold nigga. What happened?
Right.
But you also gonna have the niggas that's like, I fuck with Strong,
right? And
I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna help try to put him back on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got niggas that believed in what I was doing, even if I fell off, and that will say like, if you still want to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like
I can help you get back up.
Right.
Type, right.
Like if I didn't have a show right now, if I couldn't get a show, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, that would never happen. But if I couldn't get a show,
cocky a little
niggas,
bit.
you know what I'm saying? Just facts, because I sell out my own concerts, by the way. But if I couldn't get a show. Right now, I'm being honest. And I was like, damn, nobody want to get a nigga for a show.
Right.
I could call 750. I could call him.
Right.
I could call him and say, 7, I need a show.
Right.
I got to get back on that stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Through him, I could get a show. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right. It's who you know.
It's about being solid.
Right.
The people you fucking with know you solid.
Right.
And that helps.
Right.
When the shit
builds your team.
When the shit hits the fan and people start really talking and all these rumors, people that know you know that shit
bullshit.
know it's gonna be on some bullshit.
No, it's some bullshit.
I mean? That's just a fact.
No, it's some bullshit.
It's just a fact.
Yeah. And speaking of solid, shout out to Zero for holding his ground. How you feel about that situation, the Train Zero situation? I heard they're supposed to box in December, but people saying that are fake. I hope they do. That'd be a good fight. I'd be mad.
I think
Zero
like,
all day on mine.
It's a family thing. It's deeper than rap.
Well, yeah, of course, because
it's,
Trey mama took care of Zero when his mama had passed away.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I don't have. I can't speak on it because I don't know
the whole situation.
The ins and outs of it is, you know what I'm saying. But I know it's been a long, ongoing beef. I really wish the shit would stop so that they could make some great ass music together because they're both are heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying, in Texas, and they both make dope fucking music, and they've made dope music before together, and I think they could continue. So I really wish all the bullshit would stop. Like I feel like we lost Mo 3, you know what I'm saying, and he was such a dope fucking artist.
Yeah,
you could resonate in your spirit with his music.
Right. He was very humble with his music. That's how I feel about his music. He was very humble with it. You know what I mean?
Well, he just was him. It was like, nigga, I'm Mo 3.
Yeah.
Osama live, nigga, you gonna fuck with me or you ain't. That's how he felt.
Right.
And so I feel like I just wish a lot of that bullshit would stop. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's for whatever reason, if it's for clout, whatever, like I just hope it.
Well, I know Zero already said that there was never gonna be another ABN reunion, to not even think about it.
I don't blame him though for how he got treated out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit crazy.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, they jumped him, and I don't care. They should not have jumped him. That should have been at least a one-on-one situation. How I feel about it, a grown man and a grown man. It's between them two, not him, Trey brother, and all the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That should have been a one-on-one situation, and that's where I feel like it's kind of fucked up. Like, yeah.
I think that a lot of people outside of that shit though got to stop speaking on it. Like, in the industry. Like it's a lot of rappers that be giving they perception.
Right.
Like if
and
you
then
wanna,
when they get beat up, it'll be a problem
like
because
this,
they speaking on a situation they ain't got no business to. Right.
If you want to talk about it like this, that's cool because it's just a discussion. But if you if you go in, if they asking you, because in the interviews, like all these podcasts and shit, they'll ask you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about who you siding with?
Right.
It's like, nigga, don't fall into that.
Right.
I'm not siding with shit. I don't know neither one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
I'm not siding with shit. I'm just telling you what I feel, what I think about the situation. That's it.
Right.
I feel like too many niggas get in there and be like, well, you know,
put their personal feelings really
nigga,
into
he
it.
Know what's up. And it's like, man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I just felt like they did do zero wrong. They shouldn't have jumped that man. That should have been a one-on-one situation because it was between them two grown men,
sure.
you know what I mean?
I mean, getting jumped is never like a thing. I've been jumped before. That shit is like not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always say that shit. We talk about, these are things we talk about on a regular, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I always said that, you know, the jumping never bothered me. Maybe because I ain't been just stomped or some shit like that. Like, I've been jumped, but it ain't never been. But I think that the anticipation for the jump, like, I've run from niggas and ran around the corner and it was them.
Right.
I'm like, that is the nerve-wracking part. Like, oh, shit. Like, damn.
Damn right.
I'm about to get fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you think you get away. You're like, whoo, shit.
Take a break real quick.
Come on, man. Hey, man. Come on, dog. Come on. Like, it's almost like you ain't begging, but it's like, come on, fam. Like, you know,
please spare me one. Spare me one.
That's the part for me that's nerve wracking. Once it started, it's already happening. You good, you know what I'm saying? The nervousness is over. You know what I'm saying? It's like your first fight. Like when you get out there, you're like, fuck.
You just go home, take a hot shower, and just mind your business for the rest of the day, and don't come outside.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, but before we wrap up our awesome episode, do you have anything that you want to touch on? Shout out. Of course, we know you got your new album out coming out.
Right.
Again, shout out to the Fly Zone merch. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit him up to get his t-shirts. Once again, this podcast is what was that word I was looking for? Sponsored by Gorilla Drake. I apologize. Kiss a Pink Gorilla Drake. So anything else you want to tap in on for the day?
You know what I'm saying? I just want to tell everybody, look out for this album. Go stream my album Life right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out 750 one more time. You know what I'm saying? I know I said his name
shout
like
out to
3 times, but
750.
shout out to him and shout out to the platform that I told him I was signing up and I capped and I did.
Oh man, let me tell you about Music Flicks. You sleep on it. You sleep on Music
But
Flicks.
I did sign up right now and it's telling me to verify my email as I'm on my live.
Well,
so I gotta do that shit. But he is helping people. A lot of artists right now. Y'all need to tap in with him. He's helping artists get on.
A lot of y'all are really sleep on
saying?
Music Flicks like y'all don't even know. Y'all is.
But I want to shout him out, man, for that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a lot of people that's willing to stick their neck out on the line for the people like that. So big shout out to you, dog, for that. I want to shout out Fly Zone. You know what I'm saying? My team, we coming together strong right now. You know what I'm saying? Just got Neil Alex back out. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, Neil was my first artist signed to Fly Zone.
Really?
Now he's back into the lab because we had him doing a lot of behind the scenes shit for I hadn't seen Neil physically, and he's on my label in 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So like, but I talk to him every day.
Right.
And he live up the street, but he was doing a lot of the gaming for us and getting our music on games, and he had to be tapped in. And, you know what I'm saying? And so shout out to him. Shout out to Eliza 1K. Shout out to just and everybody out there that's been supporting and getting the Fly Zone shirts. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Continue to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's for y'all. It's being fly in your own zone, man. Once again, it has the QR code on it, you know what I'm saying? So you could be able to get to my my Instagram, you know what I'm saying?
ASAP and quickly.
And I got shows. I know people have been inboxing me like crazy about another show. I am doing more shows. I'm just trying to wrap up the album, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely got more shows coming, you know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned for that. I will be posting that. And you know what I'm saying, man? Just continue to spread love, dog. Real talk.
And I appreciate you for being a guest on my episode. It was dope having you. And, of course, we had some good laughs, spoke on some real conversations. So
thank you for having me. Thank y'all for bringing me.
And, of course, thank you for the T-shirt. I love the pink. I do. I like the pink.
So we got to get a picture so we could post that.
All right. And make sure y'all like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Just check it out. Put your big girl draws on. And thank y'all for tuning in. And have a good rest of your week.
Already. Salute.
All right. Peace out.
This is the vibe. When my bitch hit the dance floor, her booty get the flipping. She shake it so good, all these niggas get the tripping. Even the broke niggas try to talk about tricking. But if you getting money, niggas spend it on your women.